Welcome back to the Hybrid Friends. Today, again, with my good friend Jaromir. And before I introduce you to the topic today, I just want, for everyone who doesn't know the awesome Jaromir, just giving him a few minutes to introduce himself and what he's doing.
Hi, so I'm based in Czech Republic. I moved to Dell 3 years ago. I was working in Microsoft for 9.5 years. We kind of switched roles with Flo. So Flo moved to Microsoft. I moved out of the Microsoft. I was a PFE, Premier Field Engineer, for 9.5 years, working with the customers closely and also closely with the product group. And now I'm working with Dell, working closely to our customers and also our product management and also Microsoft product management. I'm testing new features. I'm testing private and public previews. I'm trying to make it available for everyone. And mostly I'm working and making it available together with our new hardware. And then I'm trying to help the customers who are trying Logistic HCI, who wants to have Logistic HCI. So I'm helping with the POCs, and I'm just making sure that the first experience for the customer is the best one they can have.
And I think you're still the Microsoft MVP, if I'm informed correctly.
Oh, yes, I am still MVP. I received a new ring for this year, so good. Still MVP.
Perfect. And a topic we want to discuss today is the SPE driver packages for Azure Stack HCI, as the whole driver process changed with 23H2, and now most of our customers have questions about how can I install my drivers. It's still supported to use third-party injection of the drivers, and what are the SPE packages anyway? So
okay, cool. That's really good topic, right? So let's kick it off. Yeah. So I'll probably share my screen so
you will share your screen.
We can take a look. We can take a look into the labs I'm writing. That should help you with whatever you are trying with Azure Stack HCI, because I'm trying to cover all of these topics. I'm running all of this in my lab. The lab is again described in the same GitHub page. So in my case, I have several virtual machines connected to a physical environment, and I do have one machine.
For the people who don't know, you have an amazing page which is the MS Lab beneath Dell Geos. I will link it in the video description. And here you really put all your knowledge in. You describe scenarios for HCI, for Arc, Windows Server to deploy, and you always come prepared to those sessions. And today you prepared already a lab guide and additional guidance for the SPE scenario we will talk about.
That's true. That's true. So there are two projects. People think that MS Lab is dead because I'm not contributing too much to it. It's not true. I'm just writing the friendly scenarios, because MS Lab is more or less like a tool itself, and then scenarios. But the scenarios are just the PowerShell code, right? What I'm trying to do now with Azure Stack Hands-on Labs under the Dell Geos is to explain MS Lab, how it works, how you can deploy even physical labs like I do have here. It's like one-to-one what I do have in my lab is described here. So you can deploy your machines with Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, even with Windows Server 2025. I didn't update it with Windows Server 2025. It's something is tricky, something is not working, something is working. So let's wait for GA date. But yeah, I mean, you can deploy your lab, your physical lab from the MDT, and then continue with the guide to deploy using cloud-based deployment or using web UI. You can try it in the virtual machines, or you can even try it with the real physical hardware, right? So as you can see, there's the MDT that you can use to even deploy machines, and you can deploy from the Pixie, or there's a tips and trick to even boot from the network ISO file, and then modify this network ISO file and basically mount it via iDRAC into the Dell system, boot from it. It will automatically load the operating system. You can even domain join if you want. In this case, not, because Azure Stack HCI doesn't support domain join machines for the cloud-based deployment. right? But all of these guides are more or less based on MS Lab, and it's a step-by-step guide that should help you to spin your environment and then test it. And as you mentioned, one of the lab guide is Lifecycle Manager Deep Dive that talks about Solution Builder extension.
And here we already have the name. So when you're talking to Microsoft, when you're talking to a partner, we always use the SPE name. And as you know, said, SPE is System Builder Extensions, which normally includes drivers,
Solution
sorry, my mistake. A Solution Builder environment and
extension. Solution Builder extension. There's a
Now we have it
about SPE. Yeah. So it's pretty cool, right? Because this is the way to consistently install updates to your environment, and not only operating system updates, but also there are multiple components of the SPE, right? SPE consists of either operating system update, extensions update from the Microsoft, and also this Solution Builder extension. So extension that extends the lifecycle manager with a package that OEMs can provide. And OEMs can build this package and then provide either just a minimal that contains only WDAC policy, which is kind of lame because it only includes the XML that allows WDAC to run certain software signed by, in this case, HP or Dell or Lenovo. Or it can be a standard one that contains also firmware and drivers plus other software. If you have premium solution, there can be also package that updates in our case, a virtual machine, right? So there are different levels, and you can easily learn about SPE package, what it contains, because if you'll go deeper, you'll find that there are some PowerShell modules and then some PowerShell commands that you can use to explore more, right? Yeah. So if we'll just start with, in general, what is different.
What we should say is that SPEs are not new. It's something you already had with Windows, Windows Server, down to the first drivers, because you will get those also from ASUS for your laptop, for your PC. You will get it from other partners, Supermicro, etc. So most drivers delivered with the Windows updates for your system or with your deployment ISOs or your deployment images are SPE packages. So it's nothing new for HCI. It's just something HCI now leverages in perfection with its partners.
It's slightly different story, I think. If we will think about what was Azure Stack Hub, Azure Stack Hub was already using SPE packages, and you can say by just looking at the modules, at the PowerShell modules that are now available on Azure Stack HCI since version 23H2. I mean, version 23H2 with these extensions, right? Because you can still install the 23H2 all the way, just manually install it and then upgrade it into this and install the lifecycle manager and all of these components. And with these components, there will be PowerShell modules to manage your Azure Stack HCI cluster. And one of the PowerShell module is lifecycle management. And in this guide, I'm showing all of these commands and what is the output. And as you can see, if you will grab the get command module, Azure Stack HCI, LCM, PowerShell, this will give you commands that you can use with the lifecycle manager that leverages SPE packages. And one of the let me just zoom it. One of the commands is it's interesting because it will give you information about the solution and where to get it, right? So if you run this get solution discovery diagnostic info, it will give you two important URLs. In my case, it's AKMS Azure Edge updates and Azure Stack SB updates / Dell EMC. So let's take a look on the first one, Azure Edge updates, right? AKMS / Azure Stack updates. Was it Azure Stack updates? Azure Edge update, right? AKMS slash. So as you can see, there's an XML that will be downloaded, and you can open it. And if you open this XML, you can see what versions are available for the solution. So there's 2303, 2306, and that should be also 2308, right? There's the newest one somewhere, right? And it will give you information, where is the zip file, where is downloaded from. So basically what you could do is you can even manually download the zip file and sideload it if needed, right? If there is no connectivity, but yeah, you should have connectivity anyway. So there is a new one, right? So there is a
but it's maybe a good
one.
idea to know that if there may be changes in the future with HCI running offline, so which is a highly requested feature. So that even for that you would need something like that. It's like with Azure, like we did with Azure Stack Hub in the past days with disconnected hub, where you needed to do the same for the hub.
Right, but this is how the cluster will learn about the new versions, right? So if you will go into the portal, let me just go into the portal quickly and just go into my Logistic HCI cluster and just see what versions are there. Again, let me just, thanks. Send notification. I love this, by the way. I love the passwordless accounts. I've never used password for my private account. Since I just got rid of it. You can remove the password from the Hotmail account or from the Microsoft account completely, which is pretty cool. So if I'll go to Azure Arc and into my host environments, here are my Azure Stack HCI clusters. And if I'll just simply go into updates of the cluster, I can see what version it is, right? If it's up to date or not. So this one is up to date. I can take a look what versions are installed. And if there would be a new version available, it would tell me, yep, there is a new version available, and it would be based on this XML, right? So I can see that my solution version is this one, services version is that one, and SBE is this one. And if I'll look into this XML, I can see that this is my version. It consists of these resource bridge version, this one, or update service, or download service, or orchestrator service, different versions, right? So these are the version of the services, right? And there is the URL where you can download this update from. So you can even, copy, download it, and then explore what's in the zip file and how big it is, right? Looks like it's not that big. There's there is some action plan and update. So yeah, I would have to go deeper. I didn't explore this one. I did explore the SBE only. So that would be the Microsoft part, right? If I'll look into the other one, there is AKMS / Azure Stack SBE update / Dell EMC. You can guess by this name that there will be also data on the Lenovo, HPE, so you can explore it, right? So let's try that. AKMS / what was it? / Azure Stack SBE update / Dell EMC, was it? Dell EMC. If I'll open it, there it's pointing to an XML, right? And as you can see, here are the solutions. Apex 76660 MC 4510. Also AX nodes somewhere, and here. And with the AX nodes, you have file name that should be downloaded, and then notifying URL. There's unfortunately not the URL directly for the downloading it, so you have to sideload the package. And there is a KB article that talks about the zip file itself and how to sideload it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do the same thing for any other OEM, let's do this. Let's replace this Dell MCA with Lenovo, for example. It will also give you a list of the service, like MX something, and then zip file, notifying URL. Again, you have to sideload it, right? In this case, and it's matching only for one system in this case, right? It's MX something. Let's see if there are any other systems. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
No, I think that Lenovo is the same, like with you guys, with the MX nodes are for HCI and the
But no
as a primary
integrated
solution,
nodes.
like you have with the MCs.
And data is on the same, on a par with the Dell, I think. They have integrated machines or integrated systems, these two. So we have 14th generation, 15th generation, and now there will be 16th generation supported. With data on, you have only the latest one, right? Where you have the zip file and then URL. And then also, if you go with HP, there is just a WDAP policy. It's not much. There's so many supported models, but the file itself is just a WDAP policy, right? So you can explore it more to learn about the packages and where is it coming from. When you will go into the update itself to learn about the update, you will find out that this is the file that had to be sideloaded. If you would go here and click next, it would tell you that you need to download it from the URL. In this case, I'm already seeing that it was completed. But you would see the same thing as you get from here. You would see the notifying URL. You would have to navigate to. You would see the name of the file, and yeah, and then you just simply sideload it and deploy. So these are the discovery URLs, right? And then this guide is more or less talking about all of these different OEM URLs, and then it's talking about the sideloading the package, right? So there is a documentation on how to sideload, but this code is more or less about if you already have a cluster, how to download it. In our case, there is a URL that you can download it from. You will simply unzip it, and then you will expand it and then copy it over into the cluster infrastructure share. That's really interesting, right? Because you basically sideload it by loading the image into the folder. So let me just show you where the folder is. So if you'll go into the cluster itself, there's infrastructure volume. In the infrastructure volume, there is a share. There's SU infrastructure, and then there's a folder sideload. If you put it here, and then you run the command, and the command is, in this case, add solution update. So you run add solution update from this folder sideload. It will be processed, and the package will be internally copied over into the, I think it's in updates and packages, I think in here, right? And it ends up here. So whenever you will add a package and you will find it that this package is not something that you wanted to load, like older version, and you want to have a newer version, you can simply delete from here. So if you then run get solution builder package, I think, or this is get solution update. So this is the update itself. But when you will run, let's take a look. To run all of these commands, you have to be logged into one of the nodes, or you have to invoke the command against the cluster, because the PowerShell module is not located locally, and doesn't have any sim session command. So you have to log into one of the nodes, and I prefer to use Enter session for all of this, right? In my case, one of the nodes is AX node 3. And then once you are here, you can get command then the commands to list the LCM module commands is to simply run get command module, and then it's Microsoft something LCM something, I don't remember, right? So it's easier just to run it like this. It's Microsoft Azure Stack LCM PowerShell, and you can see get solution update. So you can run this one just to see what solution updates are there. As you can see, there's this package here. And as you can see, this one is installed with all the description and everything. If it was not installed, but it was there, you can just simply start solution update. And there are more commands to, for example, explore the health of the cluster, if everything is fine. But you can do all of this in the GUI, right? All of these commands here are more or less just to understand how you can learn about the solution update itself. So I prefer to just convert to JSON, and then you can read all of the, you can kind of expand all of the properties this way. So, you can just run get solution update, convert to JSON, and with some depth. And then this way you can see all of this information about the update itself, right? So what is the name? What is the title? Target resource. I don't know. All of this stuff. Maybe it's interesting. I didn't find anything interesting, but yeah, I mean, it's there. And you can also learn about the health of your cluster just by pulling the get solution update environment, and then just check the health result. It's easier to invoke it. Oh no, I don't have to search for it. It's easier to invoke it against the cluster name, as you can use outgrid view. With this outgrid view, you can see all of this information in a nice table. You can filter it, sort it. So for that, it's easier to use this invoke command, right? So let me just demonstrate. Where is it? Go this command. Oh, too fast. Here, invoke command against the cluster. So let's exit from the session, back to my management machine. Let's populate the cluster name, ax plus 02, and then let's run this command. So you can simply copy the command like this, paste it by right-clicking, and then just wait for the results. And I do have some issues in my health, and I will show you in here, and I'll also show you in a portal, right? So you can see there's a status, and I think in 3 I do have status failure. Okay, it's up now. So there are 3 or actually 2 issues. There's some description. So when you will be automating side loading of the packages, or grabbing information about the health, you can automate it with PowerShell. As you can see, there's validating cluster setup for updated failure, and custom location-based scenarios, something. Azure Arc, yeah, Azure Arc connectivity to some URL is also here. There is also a problem, and you can see it both in here in the PowerShell, or you can also see it in here. There's a warning about Azure Arc, as you can see, that I'm not able to connect to this URL. It's the same thing as in this PowerShell that I run.
But
so yeah,
in this, is it only for these 2 nodes, or is it for the whole cluster? Just
it's for an entire cluster, right? So I do have 2 node cluster only, right? So if you look in my cluster, there are just 2 nodes, X node 3 and 4. X node 1 and 2 are in different cluster, in different environment. We have 2 environments internally. for our group. One is being run by MedMac Spirit, and we call it like a production environment. And one is development environment. It's for myself, where I'm, testing new builds, private previews, and all this stuff. While Matt has an environment where he's trying to showcase how it looks like when you're running the production environment. So nothing like Windows Server 2025 like I do have, or some insider previews like I do have, right? I just prefer to play with all of the fire, so I'm trying to test all of the new scenarios.
Yeah.
I'm trying to document for everyone, so so people can give it a try also, somehow consistently. And then when you are ready, you will just start the solution update. What I wanted to say is that if I look into the package, there are multiple components. There's this SPE discovery, and with this package, we had an issue. This discovery was wrong. So what I did is I rewrote the code here slightly to replace the XML with the latest one from the AKMS address, right? So if I'll download the package here and sideload it, oh, again, too fast. Here, I download a package. It has 3 files. Zip file, and then 2 metadata files. One metadata file is actually the same one as I was showing you, this from this AKMS address. And I'm replacing it. I'm replacing this XML with a fresh one from the address. And then it works. If you would not replace it, then you would see that there's some prerequisite. It's like a weird issue, but the fix is simply just use a new XML from here and then transfer the update to the cluster. I think the zip file contains just these 3 files, and then this file is then unpacked, and as you can see, this is what is inside the zip file. It's here. So the package itself, it's more or less 2 metadata files plus content of the zip file. If I'll open this, I think if I'll open the zip file, we should be able to see the same thing.
But more or less
interestingly, it's interestingly, it's using the cow cluster updating, and it's using the plugin to install firmware and drivers. So there is this, I think it's, I think I saw somewhere this DLL somewhere. There's cow arguments. Okay, I probably saw it in a cow arguments that it's using specific DLL to install all of the updates. There's a post update and pre-update script that is being run using cow, and also the firmware and drivers, plus some software. So this is what is content of the SPE package. More or less, these are all of the files that are being used by cluster ever updating. So yeah, it's extracted here, and then cow is pointed to here, and everything is running automatically. I didn't have to care anytime. I mean, every time I just run this update, it succeeded, right? So in this case, as you can see, if I'll just expand everything, it will prepare SPE, then it will most likely just run some pre-update scripts and everything, and just simply deploy the update. And it took, let's see, it started at 2:44 and it was finished at 3:38. So let's say
for both nodes.
For both nodes, yeah. For 5 steps, and actually I just run it and forgot about it. But I think this was fast just because the system was already up to date. Because when you are deploying a fresh operating system, and that was interesting question in the beginning. I completely forgot about it. How you would deploy drivers, right? Can you use Can you manually install the updates, or should use SBE only? That's a good one, right? Because SPE package cannot downgrade, right? So if you have updated system with the latest updates, you might run into the issue where the SPE will not finish, right? Therefore, the lab that I wrote here for deploying Azure Stack HCI cluster has one step to prepare Azure Stack HCI nodes for the cloud deployment, and there is a step to install drivers using Dell system update. So it will download the Dell system update, and it will simply install all of the drivers using Azure Stack HCI catalog. However, it will run this command with a parameter to also allow downgrades, right? So there's apply downgrades and apply upgrades. So both are here. So if it's not compliant against the catalog, you can downgrade the system before running the cloud deployment, right? So I'm kind of preparing the node to make sure that it's compliant with the latest Azure Stack HCI catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next step is to sideload SBE package, right? You sideload it before you kick off the cloud-based deployment. But again, after cloud-based deployment, you have to sideload it again. Here you sideload it by copying it into CSBE folder. Here, CSBE, so we just unzip the zip file into the CSBE, and then the process will try to find the file in the SBE folder during the installation and try to populate all of the drivers. And then the next step after the full deployment, you just sideload the package again. I don't know why, but probably a feature. But yes, you can apply the updates, but do it only once, and then let the SBE package take over all of these operations.
Is there more than the customers or the Azure Stack HCI administrator should know, or is it for you more or less clear what it's doing now? Because I think so. My opinion would be for everyone who wants to try that, who wants to go deeper in the SPE packages, now to take your lab, the Geos lab, and try it on one of its nodes, or just take a look into the packages. That would be my thought.
Yeah, if you don't have AX nodes or Dell nodes, then it's tricky, right? You should just go into the zip file, take a look in the scenario, what is being done there. I hope in the future this will be streamlined, and then this URL will be populated, so the process will automatically download the package from the Azure Update Manager. So you will not have to do anything of this. You will not have to sideload it. You will just simply go into the Azure Update Manager, and I feel it will be soon, right? But let's see. Let's see after. I think with 16th generation and new SBE package, let's see how it will look like, right? Maybe all of this will be already in past, and the only thing you will have to do is just simply scan for updates or select clusters here and just do one-time update, and that's it, right? Because it will be downloaded automatically, right? But let's see. There are no available updates now, obviously, because everything's up to date. Both my clusters are up to date, but hopefully this will be the only thing that you will have to do, and it's based on this XML that is in this AKA address, and it should point you to the zip file. This was what the Microsoft. This one is the Dell one. To the URL, to the zip file that will get automatically downloaded. I suspect the reason is that with Apex Cloud Platform, with MC Node, with the premium solution, what we do is that the process is initiated from Windows Admin Center extension. So you are not doing it from the you are not doing it from the cloud-based updates from Azure Update Manager. You are doing it from the Windows Admin Center. Let me just navigate to Windows Admin Center Gateway. And what it does, it will also do hardware pre-checks, right? So it's kicking off, it's sideloading everything for you in the background using this extension, but it also tests if the node itself is healthy, if the iDRAC is healthy, right? And it will give you a GUI, nice GUI, right? So this is the value of the premium solution where let me just navigate to my MC cluster. It's updating extensions, oh, really? Okay, yeah, okay, cool. I'm not using Windows Admin Center much, so you can see that the extensions were installed. And there is one extension for Dell Apex Cloud Platform. And I think, I'm not sure if I configured everything, if will be able to do everything. Because I simply never used it before. So this is the first time I'm using it, right? Because this system was deployed last week and it was already up to date. So so the process of deploying update here, it's more comprehensive, right? Because you can check for the compliance if everything is compliant as it should be, right? So I can go to compliance and check if my machines are really up to date with the latest cumulative updates and with latest drivers and everything. So this is something you don't have with AX nodes, with integrated nodes. This is only with a premium solution, right? So this is this compliance report. Also, you have this physical view if everything is healthy or not. But if you go to updates, and if you want to install updates, and if you will just, download a package here, you don't have to sideload, it's just a button here, just a perform update. It will also initiate a hardware check of the hardware, right? So if there is anything wrong with the iDRAC, you'll be able to see. If there's a power source unplugged, I need to enter the valid support account because it has a call home service, right? So you can call the support from here. If you have any problem, you can just create a service request and then create a support ticket from here. So it's really integrated solution.
It's maybe something we can take as the next topic, how that works with an integrated solution. I think that's a very important thing for our customers. But for the packages, I think we are through. Otherwise, I know we could talk for another hour for that, but we would then overwhelm most of the customers and then the people watching. So I think we are clear on the SPE packages for today. If there are more questions, I think everyone knows how to use the comments and happy to do an additional deep dive on it. Jaromir, thank you again. And just on the stream, I will be in Prague next week.
I'm not sure. I moved out of the Prague, but we should grab a beer, I think, sometime. So yeah, I might still. Yeah, let me know when you are in Prague, and I might go there. Yeah, I'm now 2 hours drive away, so.
So we don't should tell too much on stream, but so thank you for today. Have a great one, and for everyone else, subscribe, like the video, and leave us the comments and questions.
Especially let us know. Yeah, let us know in the comments what you would like to hear about next time, right? Because if you go into the hands-on labs here, there are some topics that I just scratched, right? So like these tips and tricks, right? Like pulling image from Azure is really interesting because you can choose any image and just basically have it in Azure Stack HCI. So if I'll go into my AX cluster, I can see that there are some custom images, and no, I don't want to go with Update Manager, but there are multiple topics we can talk about. Logical networks, right? How the logical network looks like, Maybe after some features will be released pretty soon, I guess. We can talk about improved logical networks. We can talk about the images, how to populate the images. So all of these topics, just let us know. I'm trying to document all of this stuff with either tips and tricks or just the labs, but maybe it's not complete, right? Just let us know what we should record, what we should talk about, and we'll happily record another video.
Yep, sounds good. Then thank you. And for everyone else, goodbye.
Bye-bye.